What is up, everybody? It's Camo Gaming, and we're gonna go with part 9 of our multiple part series of Star Wars of the Old Republic. Today, what we're gonna have is Trooper Commando. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like the Trooper Commando and Trooper Vanguard are the only ones that are very different from the Sith equivalent, which is Imperial Agent and Imperial Agent Operative and Imperial Agent Sniper. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but it seems like the other ones all have like a one-to-one comparison that's equivalent to it, but it doesn't look like the Trooper Commando matches up with either the Operative or the Sniper, which is why I'm going to go out with this Part 9 and kind of go over what I think will be the best and most ideal DPS spec for Trooper Commando. We're going to go with Heavy Gunnery. Assault Specialist seems like it could be an interesting spec to go into. It looks like most of it's throwing explosives, while the Gunnery one is actually just shooting weapons. So I think the Commando should be able to do more damage up front and more burst damage. So that's why I'm going to stick with the Gunnery tree as we're leveling and as we're PvPing. So let's get started. We're going to go ahead and pick up Havoc rounds. Increases the damage dealt by all rounds, and charge bolts by 6%. Charge bolts spins up the assault cannon and fires off a quick burst of powerful charged rounds at the target for X weapon damage. Requires assault cannon. We're going to skip advanced tech because this is just a healing. We're going to get iron sights, increases aim by 9%. Aim is one of the key primary stats for the Trooper Commando. Every point of aim gives you a 0.2 increase in range damage, so definitely extremely important. We're going to skip heavy trooper. It just increases your HP. We're going to get special munitions. Increases the effects of your cells while they are active. Plasma cell increases tech critical chance. Armor piercing reduces the cost. Combat support increases tech critical hit chance. How the Trooper Commando system works is that you get to have one cell activated throughout the entire, I think it's like an hour cooldown or something. So you're allowed to have one cell activated the entire time, and most of the all the abilities are passive. You will get muzzle fluting, reduce the cost of charge bolts and grav round by 1. Charge bolts is one of the abilities that you'll be using the most frequently, while grav round fires a round that creates a gravity vortex on the target, dealing X kinetic damage, crossing the target's armor, and stacks up to 5. So you'll probably be using the grav round more for like boss fights, because you definitely want to have someone in your group that's able to decrease the enemy armor. We're going to get steady aim, reduces the pushback. Definitely very important, as several of the commando abilities is either a channeling or a casting. It requires a casting spell. We're going to skip charge barrier. We're going to have concussive force. Stock strike has an X% chance to knock the target back several meters. In addition, concussions, charge, and knockback effect is strong and pushes enemies 4 meters away. This is extremely useful as the enemy gets closer to you. You want to make sure you fire it so they're pushed back. Grav round fires a round that creates a gravity vortex. I discussed this a little bit earlier. We're going to have deadly cannon. Increases the critical bonus damage of full auto and demolition round. So what full auto is, fires a continuous stream of bolts that deals X weapon damage every second. Weak and standard enemies caught in the blast are stunned for that duration. So very good, very useful stuff. And then we're going to have demolition round. So demolition round fires a demolition round that explodes on contact, dealing X kinetic damage. This damage is increased by 5% per gravity vortex on the target. Because this grav round stacks up to 5 times, you probably want to DPS rotation, maybe stacking up grav rounds, so that it not only decreases the armor but also allows some of your other abilities to do even more damage. We will get cell charger. While armor piercing cell is active, critical hits has a chance to generate 1 energy cell. So we're going to basically have armor piercing cell active the entire time as we're leveling and as we're PvPing. We're going to gravity surge. Basically gives you a gravity vortex +1. So basically you only need to fire your grav round 3 times in order to have the full debuffs. We're going to go with tenacious defense. Reduces the cooldown of concussion charge by 10 seconds. We're going to get cover fire. Full auto has an X% chance to slow the target's movement. Very useful to continue kiting the enemy. We're going to have rotary cannon. We're going to have charged barrel. Grav round grants charged barrel, increasing the damage dealt by the next high impact bolt. High impact bolt. What that is, so high impact bolt fires a very powerful round at the target only usable against incapacitated targets and targets suffering from periodic damage. So you probably want to use this every time you're able to apply some sort of damage over time effect. That's the only way you'll be able to probably activate this charge barrel. I'm not sure off the top of my head if there's anything that actually incapacitates the enemy as the Trooper Commando, but correct me if I'm wrong there. We'll get Code Recharge. We're going to reserve round, reduce the cooldown of concussive round by 15 seconds, and reserve power cell by 30. We're going to Curtain of Fire. Has an extra chance to finish the cooldown on full auto, increase the damage dealt by the next full auto. And finally, Demolition Round. Fire is a demolition round that explodes on contact, dealing X kinetic damage. This damage is increased by 5% per gravity vortex on the target. So as you can see, we're using the gunnery tree. Most of it's going to be involving with this, this grav round and how we're able to stack gravity vortices onto the enemy. With those stacks, a lot of your other abilities are able to do more damage directly. So extremely important to make sure those 5 stacks stay on. And so your other abilities can do a ton more damage. But that is the gunnery spec for you. The rest is a little bit, it's more ambiguous. You can choose, you can be very flexible with it. I think we're going to go with the 3 in Combat Medic. This increases range and tech critical chance by 6%, and then the rest is an Assault Specialist. So we're going to not only increase range by 3%, range accuracy by 3%, we're going to increase alacrity, so you're able to cast faster, and then we're going to have Sweltering Heat. Plasma Cell has a 1% chance when it applies its effects to reduce the movement speed by the enemy. So I think, actually, looking at that, it looks like we're staying with the armor piercing cell, so we're actually going to remove this. And this is where it's a little tough. I wasn't necessarily sure where to exactly put the final 2. Yeah, so I'm interested in what you think about the final 2. This is the one that's really tricky. Nothing really makes a whole lot of sense to finish this off. Let me know what you guys think about this. I do have 2 extra points remaining. Let me know what you think. I'm open to suggestions, and I'll make an update at the very end of what the majority of people think. Thanks. Check out the rest of my videos. I made talent trees for each of the other classes, mostly from the Sith side, but you can see the equivalent from the Jedi side if you just look at the header. But like the video, subscribe to my channel, leave your comments below, and peace out.